Hey there, Jen Patero here on Saturday, September the 24th, and it's been a minute. What can I say? Life has been insane, right? Back to school, crazy back to sports, trying out for hockey and soccer and all of the things. Um, Work has been incredibly busy in such a great way, but incredibly busy. Also, Deeper State Keto. We got the September challenge with Deeper State Keto. There's just been so much on the go, not to mention the fact that I am prepping for my show, UFE Worlds, November 12th. So it's just been a lot. So I missed last week's video. Last week was my 8-week mark. I have now today officially, I've hit my 7-week mark. 7 weeks left. Time is flying by and it's been hard. I've shared before. Back in a normal world, prepping for a competition, very different than prepping for a competition in my COVID bubble. Yeah, just because life gets in the way. Things and stress is at an all-time high, which is causing me to retain fluids. It's harder for me to get where I need to be. I'm not sleeping as well as I was my first prep. Yeah, things are just a lot harder this time. From a nutritional perspective, I am eating far less now than I was at this stage of the game, cutting into last November. In fact, I'm at a point right now, basically, where I am eating what I was eating when I stepped on the stage last November, and I still have 7 weeks to go. So the stress is higher, life is getting in the way, and my body just doesn't seem to be responding the same way as it did the first go around, which kind of makes sense to me for 2 reasons. One, I've always felt like, and I've said this before, I've been trying to maintain as much muscle and build as much muscle as I possibly can throughout this prep, leading into the prep and then doing the actual prep. So my cardio has been far less this go around, and it's been more about the building and the weightlifting, which is fine. So I think that calorically I'm eating less as a result of that. My body doesn't need as much because I'm not burning as much with cardio. But I also think that because I did not spend a ton of time at a caloric surplus, really, if I rewind and think about what I did to my body last year, I started in January, cutting down to a show in June. 6 months in a caloric deficit. Then after June, because it was a virtual show and I wanted to do a live show, Robert and I reverse dieted me out, but not completely, just a little bit, so that I could get through the summer, get back to like 2,000 calories, say, and then come August, I cut back down into November's show. And then after November, I reverse dieted out until about February. So I did not get to a significant caloric surplus until February. I then from there had March, April, and May to eat at a surplus before I then started a prep right back, for this coming November. So I think that that was a little bit too quick for me and my body. I know many people that can do this on the regular, but I think because I'm 43, I'm kind of like perimenopausal. I actually just had blood work done on Friday to look at my hormone levels because I have a feeling I had my very first hot flash. My mother hit menopause at 40. So really, I've got an extra 3 years on her. Like, I've been able to postpone it a little bit longer, but I think it's a sad reality of what I'm going through right now. And not that it's not doable for me to get where I need to be for November, it's just harder. My first prep, I never got hungry. I was eating enough, I was sustaining things. I felt really good. This time, I fear I'm going to get very hungry. We will see. We'll see how this goes. But like I said, it's been a lot tougher this go around than last. But I'm also feeling right now like I'm in a very good place. I am wearing the same clothes. I'm fitting back into the clothes that I know I was wearing last September. Um, so I feel like my body is in a very good spot, but it's just different. Every prep is different. And I've had people say it to me, and I'm most certainly feeling it. I do feel different. But I think I'm in a good place. I think well, I know I'm going to get there. It's just going to be harder than it was last time. So it is what it is. And it's the reality of pushing yourself to achieve a goal and having the mental ability to get yourself there, because it's going to be a whole lot harder for me to talk myself into doing what is going to be required to get myself on stage in November. But I'm up for the challenge. I cannot wait. I will also say, though, it will be a while. I will give my body a good long break after the show in November and a good proper building phase, and we'll see what else we can achieve at age 43. But so that's where I'm at. It's been a challenge, and things have been difficult, but I'm in a good place. I feel like I'm dialed in. I think I know the number of steps I need to maintain on a daily, and I'm having a lot of fun doing that. As part of the Deeper State Keto Challenge, we had to up our steps to 15,000 steps a day, and I did it, and I felt good about it, and now I'm trying to maintain that through to November. It's not easy, but I'm doing it. I've made some subtle changes to my life. I walk my kids to the bus now every morning. I walk down and pick them up every evening. Not something that I used to do. They're old enough. They don't need me to do that. Or I would jump in my car and drive them. Not anymore. Now we hike it, and it's making a difference. The other shift is I'm dancing to get some steps in. And I was doing some hip hop dance. I'm still doing the hip hop dance size with Beachbody, but I've also added back the country heat dancing. I find it a little bit more intense. I find it a little bit tougher on my legs, like more muscle use. So I've added some country heat back in, and I'm dancing my way to 15,000 steps every day. From a diet perspective, things have shifted. Where are we right now? So last week, because I did not give an update, my week 8, I was eating, where was I? 105 grams of fat, 110 grams of protein, 10 grams of carbs. Okay, so that was week 8. At the start of week 8, I weighed 131.6 pounds. At the end of week 8, I weighed 130.3. But we felt like through that week, things had really shifted. And so Robert said, I feel your body's, finally responding. I could feel it. He could sense it, even virtually. My body's starting to respond the way that we want it to. So now I heard those wonderful coasting words. So we could coast a little bit last week. So last week, we changed my macros to, actually we held fat constant. Fat stayed at 105 and we dropped protein to 105. So even Steven fat protein ratio and 10 grams of carbs. So that's what I have been consuming this past week, and my body has shifted. This morning I weighed 126.8. So things are certainly starting to trend in the right direction. Or they've always have been trending in the right direction, just slower than I would have liked. I believe my body fat percentage when I stepped on my scale today is 14%. When I jumped on the stage last November, I was 10%. So got a little bit of room to go there, but I totally think that it's achievable. What else did I want to comment? Oh, this week my weight did fluctuate a little bit. I mean, I'm happy to see it down to 126.8 today. But it hovered around the 130, 129 for a good majority of the week. And I think it's because I was supposed to get my cycle. All of my apps are telling me, you're supposed to, have you started your have you started your period yet? And my cycle this go around has been really funny too. I think due to stress, maybe due to perimenopause, I lost my cycle back in July. I missed 2, and I remember thinking, this is awful early for me to be losing my period. But whatever, it is what it is, and I know that it can happen as a result of what I'm trying to do. But then the even stranger part was it came back. I got my period back, which I thought that is, again, different and interesting, but now I think it is gone again, and now makes sense. Now that I'm down below 15% body fat, it does make sense for me to be losing it here. But anyways, that is what is new. Sorry I didn't make a video last week, but life was just too insane and I did not squeeze it in. But from now on, I'm fingers crossed, every week I will continue to make videos, share updates, and I think it will all be a very good news story because things are going as I would expect them to and as I would like at this stage of the game. And yeah, we shall see. I may get incredibly hangry, but I will step on stage in fine form in November. Take care, guys. Have an amazing week, and we'll chat soon. Bye for now.